Hi, this is Erica Dyer with Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch and the man that never stops. My God, now you're going to Tennessee? Is that what you said? It was your brother's birthday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good Lord, you are never home. I thought I traveled a lot, but nothing compared to what you travel.
That's true. That's true. But if anybody wants to ask me questions about traveling or ask Erica about anything pertaining to her sex life or lack thereof, ericadyerpodcast at gmail.com.
Hey, I could have got laid the other weekend. No lie. No lie. I
you,
probably could have.
no, you really could have.
I
You
could
really
have.
could have. But
Okay.
anyways, bring out the cards. Let's do the
Okay.
cards. Let's do the cards.
All right, let's do who's the biggest pervert first. Oh, I forgot I have my alarm on. Wake up. Okay, there we go. Let me turn that off. All right, who's the biggest pervert? Let's find out. Oh my. Have you ever been involved in bisexual group sex?
No.
I have not either.
Yeah, I have not. I know there are what is it? There are places you can do that. There are groups you can join. The Upside Down Pineapple Club, if you know what I'm talking about, does those things. So yeah. Actually, we also follow Swinger Nation on our what is it? IG, Instagram.
Okay, okay.
So that's a thing. I did contact them to see if they wanted to come on to an episode with us. No response so far.
Oh,
But I don't know. I
well,
might, I might, I
never
might, I,
know.
I might also message like Jessa Flux and see if she wants to do one. She seems fun. She seems
Oh,
fun.
she is fun. Actually, I joke with her on Twitter sometimes.
Okay.
I don't think she knows who I am. If she was to see me, she wouldn't correspond because obviously, my pictures look different than what I look like now. But because yeah, I've talked to her before on Twitter. But yet
Okay.
when I go up to her, when I see her somewhere, like when we were at Scarefest, she's just like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Like she
Well,
has no clue who I am.
yeah. Well, and also like at the convention, she has to be on.
Yeah.
She has to be on. So that's kind of what she is. Because I saw her roaming around at Horror Hound, and she was just kind of like doing her thing. It's like cool,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
All right. Let's do another one because those are fun.
all right, let's see what we got.
Oh, have you ever used bondage devices during sex?
Oh. Not device. I mean, like that's a very open thing. Devices, no. I have like used my belt to tie somebody up.
Oh my,
Yeah,
Nick, I
yeah,
am
yeah.
scandalized. I would not have imagined you would do that. I mean, I know that's something I would do,
Oh
but
God. Listen, when I used to work at the lingerie store, I would get bored and look up like rope tying tutorials and like how to like improvise bondage equipment if you got some duct tape and a kitchen knife kind of thing. So
wow.
I was bored and curious and like that's just how it works. But no, it was one of those things where like I had handcuffs or other restraints, but there was no like she had like a headboard, but no like thing to like latch it onto
Gotcha. Okay.
because there were like no rails or anything like on it.
But you could hold the
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
belt.
yeah.
Okay.
But the belt, is kind of more of just like improvise. Like I brought it with me because she wanted to get rough, and I was just like, okay, well, we'll be safe, but also like have fun with this. If we're just make sure
Yeah.
because like when you do with those things, you gotta you gotta
Oh,
balance that shit out. Gotta
absolutely.
balance the shit out. So I was just like I brought not the handcuffs because it was her first time kind of getting into that, and I didn't want to do handcuffs because they're
That's for
intimidating.
next time, right?
Yeah.
That was for next time. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're intimidating. So I brought like leather restraints that have that can that
Okay.
that are different. And so we kind of got into it, and I was just like, there's no way to actually like restrain her to like the top of the bed or anything like that. So I
Hmm.
was like, well, let me use my belt and
Oh,
do this thing. And I kind of did it in the moment, and she
yeah.
really 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 liked it. I was just like, because
Okay.
because like we were kind of working our way towards the bedroom, and I didn't want to be like, oh, hold on a second, and then go get the thing from my bag. It'd be fucking weird. So like, it was kind of in the moment, and it worked, and she really enjoyed it. So yeah,
Oh, damn. Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a whole podcast about me before about using handcuffs, but and a whip. But yeah, I'm in shock, Nick. Damn, the more I get to know you, like I actually in my mind, I'm thinking like you're this virginal guy that's been with like one girl, you know. Like I don't know why I put you in that.
I guess I put off
You do.
that thing, that I'm just very quiet. Like, and also like that part of my life I don't talk about until we're on the
Yeah.
podcast. But I don't talk about it with anybody because I keep it very private. Very,
And
very
that's
private.
good. And
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. But
Even if somebody does me wrong, I do not say their name. I don't do
hey,
that kind of thing.
damn. Well, you surprised me. That's for damn sure. All right. Let's do our bachelorette party. Oh, well, you could answer this. I'll have to change the wording. So, have you ever changed? It actually says, have you ever shaved your entire pussy? But we'll have to say, like, have you ever like shaved your private area or me, whichever, however you
Um
want to say it.
there was one girl I was with who was like all into that, and I guess she was watching too much porn or something. And she's like, "Oh, before I'm with you, you need to like shave your junk." So I did, and like I never used what was it? I never used a face razor. Because I was reading up online on how to
Yeah.
do it correctly. And one thing they kept reiterating in like some articles, right? It's like, don't use the razor you use in your face. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Um, and there was this one blog I was reading that like I think it was around Valentine's Day that came up with this thing that's like, oh, this shaver for your junk that you could get. And so I bought it on Amazon, had it delivered to my house at the time. I still have it actually. And it worked great. It worked great. I didn't cut myself or anything like that. No nicks, no weird stuff. So yeah, it worked out great. But it's one of those
So,
things like once you do it once, it's very freeing. And so
yeah,
now I do it like every so often.
you completely shave.
Not completely shave, but
Oh,
I kind of like
trim.
trim. There we go. Trim, trim. Yeah, trim. Yeah, yeah,
Trim,
yeah.
trim. Because that's the thing. Like I've shaved and I've also done like Brazilian waxing where they wax everything, including your butthole. And I'll tell you what I don't like is when it starts to grow back because it starts to grow back within a day or two. And I prefer the hair.
Okay.
I actually prefer the friction.
Okay.
Yeah, I just I don't care for it. Trimmed, yes. Trim it very short. Women can, of course, do like bikini waxing and that, but to be completely bald, to shave it or wax it completely off, I don't care for it.
Yeah. No,
Mm-mm.
I got a friend who's all about the bush. All about the bush. He loves it.
Yeah,
He loves it.
it's it adds for me.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not everybody feels that way, but I think it adds. And let's face it, genitalia is fucking ugly. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
true.
matter.
That's
It
true.
doesn't matter if we're talking about a wrinkly set of balls or some uneven pussy lips. It's not attractive.
No, it's no, it's it no, no, and 100% it's not. 100% it's not. And I've a lot of dude friends, and in all honesty, we don't like we really don't care. I'm sure there's some like hard limits some guys have. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want it too hairy. I don't want like a
Yeah.
fucking like afro bush or whatever. It's
Well,
like
yeah,
that's
I
that's
get
that's
that.
fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. You don't want it like crazy.
Yeah, I get that. And I've talked to women and seen women that like when they wear bathing suits, it's like sticking out the sides of the bathing suit. We don't want that.
No,
But
no, 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 no. We do not
yeah.
want that. Yeah. I know I know my friend was with a couple of girls that would just like they would shave like the bottom part of it, but the top part they just leave incredibly hairy. And I was like, that's so weird. That is incredibly weird. But
Oh.
it's what they did and what he liked, and so
Huh.
that was it. I was like, okay, sure,
Huh.
that
That is
works.
weird.
That
I
is.
just don't like the feel when it starts to grow back. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
I am not very hairy anyway, because in a prior podcast, we had talked about my experience with that hair depilatory
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not a very, and I'm just not a hairy person. But so I could see trimming, and I do shave a little bit, but nah, I don't like to shave it all off. No,
Yeah. No, yeah,
not at all.
I've just become, I will just trim nowadays because I've gotten used to that feeling. I'm just like, no, I like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, and that's fine. That's actually preferred. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have a new game that
Oh
I
God.
found
Okay.
because I've been going through my clothes. I was at my sister's the other weekend, and I went to a bunch of thrift stores because I've lost so much weight I can't fit into my work clothes. So I've been buying clothes,
Nice.
bagging up my old stuff. I'm not going to get rid of it because I might gain the weight back, but as I've been going through my closet and stuff, I found some additional games. See, I used to be a lot of fun. That's 50 Shades of Gray. This is the expansion pack.
Oh my God.
So we were talking about 50 Shades of Gray. I actually own the books. I do
Gotcha.
own the books. Um, I've never read all of them though. I think they're too stupid as fuck.
Yeah, they're very much like um they're like they're like daytime TV for women. That's what I view it as. Like nobody really likes it, but there's nothing to do on there's nothing on TV to watch anyway, so you just watch Oprah and like
Yeah.
Sally Jesse Raphael or whoever the hell else was on at the
Yep.
time. And it's just
Yep.
like, it's just like it's just filling time basically. But I know when that came out, man, I remember when I used to have a YouTube channel where I was reviewing movies, and I was one of the ones reviewed. And it was me, my friend, and two girls we went with, and it was funny to hear the two girls talk about it because they're just like, "This is incredibly unrealistic. Like, it's just terrible." And I'm just like, "That's funny."
Yeah, actually, we talked about that book or those books on an earlier podcast. You may not remember, but we did. That's how much it aggravates me. It keeps coming back, and I'm like, who the fuck would buy this crap? I mean, if I was gonna read like bondage and shit like that, I would read the Marquis de Sade.
Okay,
And as a matter of fact, I'll pull out some of the books I own for next time, and
nice, nice, nice. That'd be great.
because I am quite sure you have never read 20 Days of Sodom.
I have not. I have not. But
Let's say that it's a hard read.
I bet it is.
I didn't even mean it like that, you dirty bastard. All right, let's read our card.
Yeah, read your card. I got a story about the Marquis de Sade. So yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
you could probably actually let me think of how to word this because these are all from that bachelorette party.
Okay.
If a director of a porn movie was looking for a new actor for his next movie, which friend of yours would most likely go up for the role?
Let's see. I can't name names, but one of my friends who is, and you'll know who I'm talking about, and just don't say his name as well. You met him at Horror Hound.
Okay, that narrows it.
Okay, he's married, and okay, yeah, don't say his name. Don't say his name. He'd be one because he's an athletic dude. I think he'd be great. He would give it his all. He really would. He'd love it. And then the other guy you met as well, the real tall,
Sure.
my tallest friend, my tall,
Yep. Okay.
yeah, um, yeah. So yeah, those two would
Oh
definitely,
God.
yeah, those two definitely would would be apt for that kind of thing. They really would. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Joke.
Yeah, yeah, because you know who they are, and I'm just trying to not name names here because we're gonna have
I
problems.
do. I do. Oh my God. Oh, any of my friends. This is terrible, but out of the group that I run with, if anybody was going to do a porn, it would probably be me. Because I gotta be honest. My friends are pretty prudish, and I'm probably the one that's still like, even last night, I really got to stop this, but these fuckers need to move out. Like, if I have to get up at 4 o'clock to go pee, I don't sleep with any clothes on. I'll just get up and go pee. I'll walk out to the kitchen, get water. I have 2 fucking kids that live here. They they could get up anytime. Fuckers, get out of my house.
Oh my God, I love
Mommy
it.
wants to walk around naked. So yeah, it would probably be me. It would probably be me.
Oh God.
All right, let's do one more.
All right.
Which friend do you think could abstain from having sex the longest?
Oh
Yeah.
dear God. Probably the other one you didn't meet,
Oh, okay.
who has a very young child. He, I don't know, maybe he could. I don't know. He seems to be very, very happy in his marriage. I don't know who could.
Well, if he's married and have a young child, he's probably been abstaining since the kid's been born.
Yeah.
So,
So then probably yeah. So about a year or two. So yeah, I'd say yeah. So
God.
probably him for sure. Probably him for sure.
Oh, my ice cream's all melted. That makes me sad. I got an ice cream cookie sandwich and it's all melted. I didn't mean to leave it sitting there so long. Yeah, no, well, I don't even need to answer that for my side. We both know who could last the longest. So,
But no, my Marquis de Sade story. There's a movie that
mm-hmm.
came out in the 80s called Waxwork.
Oh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
And it was about let's see, the baseline is this waxwork just pops up in this, in a part of California, very affluent neighborhood. These teenage kids go into it and some don't come out, and you realize that the waxwork dude has made a pact with the devil, and all the things that are like all the universal monsters and things like that, there were real monsters, and the real items are in
Mm-hmm.
these dioramas with these wax figures. And if they don't have a victim, the kid gets pushed in, and they get transported to that time period in that story, and they
Uh-huh.
reenact that scene. Well, one of the well, what the girl of the main good guy, she has, like, every time she walks past the Marquis de Sade statue, she gets very turned on, like very turned on,
Oh, good Lord.
and she's like a teenager.
Is
Um,
this the one with Paris Hilton?
no, that's
Okay.
House of Wax. This is from the 80s. This is from
Okay.
the 80s.
Okay. Okay.
I'll send you. Yeah. Next time we're together, I'll send you a copy, or I'll give you a
Mm-hmm.
DVD or Blu-ray or whatever you want. It's a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, um, so there's a scene where, like, the girl, the girl goes back. The girl goes into the waxwork late at night, and without the main dude, she's trying to burn the place down. And, like, so one of the bad guys pushes her into the diorama, and she goes back to that time. And she's getting whipped and loves it, and this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, the actor who was the Marquis de Sade in that movie, one of his Hollywood friends takes him to, like, a fucking sex party.
Uh,
And apparently everybody's whispering around him, because they're all giving him this look and talking to their friends, and things like that. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, do I have something on my face? What's going on? And this friend asks him, it's like, were you the Marquis de Sade in something? He's like, oh shit. So apparently he did such a good job in that movie, and it was pretty well known that, like, all the women were very turned on that he was that character at this Hollywood sex party. So yeah, I was like, "Jeez!" But that's a story that the actor told, like, on the special features of that Blu-ray. I was like, "That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny."
That's good. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. I might have. Because
yeah. It was.
I bet you I have, because I remember um the kids being transported to the different.
Yeah. Well, it has the main guy you'd know from it is the kid from Gremlins, the little dark-haired dude.
Oh, oh yeah. Was he a whorehound? The guy that was a
Yeah, yeah,
whorehound?
yeah. He was Horhound.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. He was. Yeah,
Yep.
he was there. He was there.
Okay.
From Gremlins and Gremlins 2. Yeah, like that's one of the
He
movies. That's one of the movies he did back in the day that was, like, really, really fun, and nobody ever talks about. So.
he kept shaking his gremlin at people. When we passed his table, me and my buddy, um, we passed his table and he was like shaking his gremlin. I said, I see you over there shaking your gremlin. He goes, I'm not doing it. He's doing it on his own. And I said, mm-hmm, you're trying to lure people over, aren't you? And he goes, well, I'm trying. And I said, see, it is you. It's not him. So
Horror Hound's always fun. Always,
He
always.
was. He was sitting there shaking his grip.
Oh God, always an interesting group of people at Horror Hound. Jeez.
Yes, very interesting group of
Yeah.
people. It was great meeting, seeing you guys again. You had your booth set up for World Class Bullshitters, right? That's the
Yeah.
name of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's this Woke Busters? Is it just like a branch of,
Uh,
or is
no,
it a completely separate podcast?
no,
Or
no. It's not a podcast. It's something that we've been working on for a bit. That what is it? It is our Ghostbusters parody where we like fight wokeness and all the bullshit that people like when people get outraged about dumb shit on the internet. That's basically what it is.
and I know that, but like, is it a comic? If it's
Oh yeah,
not a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
podcast,
Sorry,
I
sorry.
mean,
It's a
I
no, no, no.
okay.
It's
Because I was so confused,
it's
but
a comic book that that we're
okay.
coming out with very soon. I know it's getting printed right now for sure. So
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Cause I'm like, I know you could scan the QR code and I thought, well, maybe it's part of their podcast. But yeah, because I saw the comics you guys had there and I wasn't positive
yeah,
exactly what Woke Busters was gonna be, but I bet you it's gonna be fun.
yeah.
You guys are a fun group,
Oh, we are, we
that's for
are.
sure.
Well, there's one thing I wanted to one thing I wanted to talk to you about on the podcast real quick. You read the messages on my phone at the convention.
Yes, yes,
What
I did.
what are your thoughts publicly? What are your thoughts?
Well,
And also here's the thing. You're entirely allowed to be honest and unhinged. It's fine. I can take it. It's okay.
so there's two different ways that I was looking at it. One is she's just fucking nuts. Like you like her, she likes you, but ooh, I'm scared. I'm going to cut it off now. The other one was kind of what we had talked about before, where, you know, she seems like she likes you, and then she's going to back away because she wants you to chase her. She wants you to pursue her.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it was just fucking weird because you would have had no clue in those text messages, even when you flew back home and you landed, you know, hey, I landed and everything's good and I had a great weekend and then suddenly it was like, well, can I have some time to think about it? Okay, that's fine. Have some time. And then immediately almost it was like, well, it's just not going to work. I just wasn't feeling it. I just don't, we have great chemistry, but it just wasn't there. And you simply asked, and this is the one that I'm like, this bitch is playing games. This bitch is playing games because you asked, can I call you? And her reply was, yep. And so you tried to call her and you had an unanswered call. And she replies, I'm in class. Bitch, why did you say it was okay to call then? She was
Okay.
playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's playing games.
Yeah.
She was playing games.
Yeah, and what is it? On WhatsApp, like like for me, I cannot see her picture anymore. So I think she's like fully blocked me, which is fine. Like I
Oh God, it's so childish for
yeah,
30 something year old.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And it's one of those things where it's like I haven't interacted with that number or anything at all. It's still sitting there, so if I randomly get a message from her, I'll tell you first. I swear to God.
Yeah. Oh
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that aggravates me. It aggravated me, but I've always been like that. I didn't play games when I was in high school, and I'm sure as fuck not going to play games now. It just aggravates me when people do that.
Well, and it's one of those things where it's like the more like I think about it every now and again and I really analyze everything she said.
Mm-hmm.
She was also just doing what I wanted and not
Mm.
really like saying her piece because even when I was just like, wanting to go to Salem that Saturday
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, I didn't want to go." It's like then just say something. We didn't have to. I kept telling her I was like
Exactly.
I kept telling her throughout, even when I went up there, I was like, "Listen, I have like a tentative plan. Everything's kind of fluid. We can do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
don't. We don't need to do these things. I'm just doing them because it's stuff for us to do because I'm out here, kind of thing."
Yeah. Yep. And Kathy says thank you for her shot glass.
Yeah, well, I wanted to throw everything away and get everything out, and I was like, the last thing was that fucking shot glass. I was like, at least if somebody can use it and it's
Yeah,
fine.
she was
So yeah,
excited. She
that's
collects
great.
those. She
It's
was very
yeah,
excited.
because I was gonna throw it in the trash, but then I was just like, I'll give it to you. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah.
Oh God.
Um, but yeah, no, it was just, but like, yeah, looking back on it and like just kind of really analyzing everything she
Mm.
said and did, I'm just like, I'm happy it didn't work out because it seems like she didn't even know who she was,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and she was just trying to like, um, she was trying to become somebody I wanted her to be. And then
Yeah.
she realized she couldn't, and it was going to be a pain in the ass to probably keep going that way.
Yeah.
And just
Could
not, I just
be.
wanted to cut it off, which like, you know, it's like, I get it, you know, it's whatever, it's fine, you know. And also she seems fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and definitely at the very least not on the same level. And maybe this is maybe I'm just trying to make it coming from the culture that you're in. Maybe she felt that being a woman in her 30s, it was time to settle down and she was trying to force it.
Yeah,
So she
yeah,
was
yeah.
doing everything right, everything to and she probably did feel a connection with you, but it just wasn't that marriage connection. And she freaked out.
Yeah.
It's because, her parents could be pushing her. Who knows?
Yeah, that might be a thing. She never said anything like that to me, but then again, she could have been keeping that all to herself. So, you know,
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. Whatever I have to second guess everything she's told me about her family and things like that too, because like I don't know if it was true or what
Yeah.
anything was and stuff. So,
Damn.
but no, I mean, yeah, it was. It's just incredibly frustrating,
Yeah.
you know,
No, no, that's,
to do that. It was just like, yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm glad you read the text message a couple of times. So I saw
mhm.
you like scroll through them and really read.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a second, because it's like some of those replies were like immediately, and the one that just got me was the phone call.
Oh yeah.
You asked if you could call, and she said you could, and then she didn't answer.
Well, that was yeah,
Bitch, that's playing
yeah,
games.
yeah, and that was always a thing. Is she would always ask, like, "Hey, can we do a video call? Can we do a phone call? You free?" That was always a thing that you know, we would do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And yeah, it was great. You know, it was nice having somebody to talk to, and even
Yeah.
like, even, and it was like, it's so weird, even when you're saying it, because she was like outwardly very like it seemed into me, you know, because she was
Yeah.
constantly wanting to talk, wanting to do the video chats,
Yeah.
wanting to do this. Like,
Which is so why she just fucking cut it off.
yeah.
Because she could have said, I'm in class, give me a call in an hour, or I'll call you in an hour.
Well, I mean, even the messages that you read, she's like, "Oh, I need a day," and then like that was at like two,
Immediately.
that was the 2 or 3. Then like 3 hours later, at 6 or 6:30, she sends the paragraph, you know, and it was just like, okay, yeah, it didn't track, and you know,
Yeah. The very least she could have done was a video call at that time and said what she had to say. That would
yeah,
have been respectful.
even if it wasn't a video call and it was just like a voice call, it would have been like, all right,
Hmm.
that's fine, you know, whatever, cool,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
no big deal. And like I said to you before, it's like I'm not gonna chase her, I'm not going to message her, I'm
No.
not going to
No.
do any of that stuff because I'm not gonna force myself onto somebody. I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Oh, absolutely not. And I've told you, I mean, honestly, you got a good job, you got your own place, you live in Atlanta, you've never been married, and you have no fucking kids. You're actually kind of a prize. You're like the unicorn on the man's
Uh,
side, where I'm the
you're
unicorn. I mean, being almost to your 40s and you have no baby mama that some girl has to worry about, that is a good thing.
it's funny you say that because I mean you how do I'm trying to be nice about this and not like sound like an asshole. You've lived life and you
Hmm.
know and you've been around and you've kind of like figured this out.
Yeah.
Women who are my age or younger, even around my age, if I tell them that, they'll think I'm fucking weird.
Oh,
They'll
no.
they'll think it's a red flag 100%.
Nope. Nope. I honestly, even now, which is really hard to find in my 50s, but if I was going to date somebody, I would prefer to have somebody with no kids. Marriage is kind of hard to find somebody that hasn't been married, but I just, I don't care if your kids are like fucking in their 20s. My kids are in their 20s and I don't want to deal with them. I don't, yeah, I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's weird. And I'd rather see that than you already married and divorced, married and divorced. Hell,
Yeah.
I have friends that have been married and divorced like 3 fucking times
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm
in
still,
her
yeah. Yeah.
40s and 50s. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not that
It's,
that's wrong for anybody that has done it, but
no, it's funny. It's funny you say that because over the last like 2 or 3 years, I've slowly gotten like all these hot girls who are in high school I thought were like, just fucking amazing. They've all been like
mm-hmm.
friend requesting me on Facebook and stuff. It's hilarious.
Yep.
They all look like shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're all divorced, or most of them are
Mm-hmm.
divorced, and most of them are on like their second or third like fucking boyfriend or
Yep.
something, and it's just like you
Mm-hmm.
can't have a
Yep.
it's just funny. It's just funny to me, and they're all like, luckily none of them have messaged me because I don't, oh God, I can't do that. Some of them have just like really, really like rolled downhill, and it's like, you need to,
Mm.
I don't know, get your teeth fixed or something. Oh God.
Yeah, it's those people you got to watch for. The ones that were hot and popular in high school, they got married shortly after high school or shortly after college. Those are the ones that don't tend to last. You're picky. You didn't settle.
No.
That there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing because now you have a career, you have money, you are settled, and you could give a wife and children a great life versus somebody, oh, I got to pay child support to this kid, and for this kid, and I got to pay child support for this kid. No, well, now we got to do the exchange with, my baby mama, and no, she doesn't want to see you in the car. So no, I've been there. I've tried to date guys with kids. I'm telling you, I hate. I will not. I don't date guys that have young children.
I don't
That's
I don't blame you one bit. I really don't. I really, really don't.
mm,
Yeah, no, like I've said, I've dodged quite a few bullets. Quite a few bullets.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. You have.
Yeah.
That's like
Um
my son actually lucked out. This the one that just had a birthday. The girl he's dating is actually a couple years older than him, so she's in her very early 30s. She doesn't have kids either. I don't know if she's ever been married, but she doesn't have kids. And I'm like, oh hell yeah. Yay.
Oh God.
There's no having to treat grandchildren equally.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah,
Um
no, she doesn't have kids, and I don't think she's been married, but
that's good. Well, speaking of older women, before I left, I met the older lady at the gym that's been like, I don't know what her deal is, but
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like I think before Horror Hound that Wednesday I went because I was like, at least I need to go one day during this week.
Yeah.
So I didn't like, and she had changed her days. Like I figured it out because she would only show up Friday, and I was just like, okay, I see how this
Uh-huh.
goes because I was trying to figure it out. So I got to like I went in Wednesday, and like I'm there early, and she walks in, she immediately gives me a hug, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, because
Like a hug?
I barely know this woman, barely know this woman. We probably talked a total of like 22 minutes like between us, like it's been very short,
Mm.
you know. So after class, I go and talk to her and see what's up and everything. And she was talking about her health or whatever and her birthday, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to Montana to ski, and then I'll be back in a week and a half. But these are the days I'm working out. I'll see you then. I'm like, okay, all right.
She's letting you know she's still athletic and you
Well,
know.
here's the thing: if she can get through an Orange Theory class, she's good to go. That's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, because those classes are not for the faint of heart. Like even when I started out, like it was fucking rough. Now
Yeah.
I can do it. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Um, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I should like give her my card and give her my number and see what's up or what the deal is. Like
It depends on what you want because I think she's open. I think if I
she's
was
never
going to
okay, she's not mentioned a husband or a boyfriend ever. She mentioned
Dude,
she mentioned she works, like on the weekends and things like that, but that's about it. She has grandkids, but I don't know if she got a man in her life. I don't think she does. She hasn't mentioned it.
dude, she would not be hugging you
Okay.
if she had a man in her life. From my age, the men that are in my age group, they're very possessive. They tend to be. You got to remember, we weren't in like the social media generation where everybody's loving everybody else and all that shit. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna say she's single.
Okay.
And the fact that she's coming up and hugging you and like telling you her plans and that, I think if you have any kind of interest in her, what's just being a friend, give her your card.
All right. I'll put a
I
card in
think
my
she's open to it.
in my phone thing whenever I go next time.
I think at this point, because the fact that she would go up and hug you, yeah, that's
Yeah,
you
because
don't
I'm
press your tits up against some guy that you're not
all right.
at the gym where she's wearing a sports bra, you know.
Yeah, no, she is. She is.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, okay, all right. I'll put a card in my phone thing and take it with me and see how that works out.
Yeah, talk about somebody not seeing the signs.
Oh no, well no, here's the thing with every dude. This is every dude. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. When it comes to sign, well, and another thing is, you women are too fucking subtle when it comes to signs. I
Yeah, you don't
swear to
want to
God.
assume.
I
That's
swear
true
to
too.
God, you like you like I've seen this on several times on TikTok and Instagram. It's like the signs you give us are like the long stare where you're like leering into our soul. It's like we don't know if there's something on our face or you're just pissed off. Like it's one of those things where it's like we don't know. You have to like tell us to come over so we can talk to, like there has to be like physical, like, and it's happened to me as well, where like I'll talk to a girl at a bar or something for a good 5 or 10 minutes, and like seems like we're having, we're having a connection, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for my boyfriend." I'm like, "You bitch." So that's happened to me. It's happened to every guy before as well. So it's one of
Wow,
those things where it's
that
like,
sucks. Yeah.
yeah, and especially these days, you got to be careful. Like as a dude, you can't just assume that like since this girl's like in your fucking personal space that she wants to fuck with
Yeah,
you.
but at this point, you have spoke to her several times and she has not mentioned a man. So
Yeah, yeah.
I get if it was the first time meeting her, but if you even know she has grandchildren and she's never mentioned,
No, she hasn't, because she was
so
talking about her
yeah,
birthday or
she's
something,
single.
and what she was doing, and I'm just like, I was trying to like listen really well and figure out what she was, what's going down, just kind of like inferring what she's saying, and
Yeah.
I was like, I have not heard you say my husband, my boyfriend, my
Yep.
partner in crime, nothing like that. So I don't know,
Yep. I'm
but
gonna
she
say
could,
she's
but she
single.
could also, but she could also be a lesbian, so that could be a thing.
She could be. She could be,
Yeah, but
but I doubt it
yeah,
because
but she's never said my partner, my anything like that. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
my only fear is that if I do give her my card and she's like, oh my God, I got somebody, I'll have to change gyms or something.
No, just like when you see her next, because will she have gone to Montana? Is that
Probably, yeah, probably.
so? Make it a point to ask her about her birthday
Okay.
and what did you do? Did you have fun? Blah blah blah. I've never been skiing, but I've always wanted to learn, and I don't know. Get her talking more about that
Okay. I'll see
because
what's
then
up.
you'll find out. Because certainly she's not going to Montana by herself
No,
to go skiing.
she said she was like meeting friends there or
Yep.
something, or going with her friends. Like there was something like that she was saying.
So get her talking about that.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, you'll find an opening. You'll find an opening.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like not too subtle, but to a point where it's like I can be like, hey, if you ever, I can't just be like, hey, if you want to hang out, give me a call. Like that's weird because
Yeah.
of the fucking age gap. It's just not gonna work like that.
Well, it's not just the age, it's not necessarily the age gap. It's I mean, shit, when my dad was 40, he was dating an 18-year-old. So, age gaps happen, although he was a little perverted, but that's neither here nor there. She was 18. So it It's more of the, like you said, you're at the same gym. If suddenly she's like, whoa, I was just being friendly, then, I would want to switch gyms too. Kind of like me and my friend on the elevator
Oh
at
yes,
Warhound.
yes, at Horrorhound, yes. Oh God, that's yeah. Let's go into that. Let's go into that.
Oh God. All that happened, I swear to God. I was coming down. I got on the elevator and there was this guy already on the elevator, young guy. He looked like maybe he was late 20s, maybe. I don't even think he was in his 30s. I think he was in his 20s. But actually, I think he told me. I think he was like 29. Um, but I got on the elevator and I noticed he had a backpack on. Well, the Warhounds was right across the street from us, and I had a backpack too. All I said, I swear to God, all I said is, "Oh, you're wearing a backpack. You must be going to Whorehound." And he goes, "I am." I said, "Yep, that's the thing. We go over and we make sure we have our backpacks full." And he's like, "Well, mine's full of beer." He goes, "I got a cooler in it with beer." And I said, "Oh, I didn't think about that." I said, "I should have." He goes, "I got beer and snacks." I said, "Oh, I didn't think of snacks either." I said, "As a matter of fact, I'm hungry." I said, that's the first thing I'm going to do when I go over there. So the whole time we're walking because we're going the same place. And at the time, I'm still not thinking anything. And we're walking. And he's like, "Oh, well, if you go in this door here, it takes you right to the cafeteria." Because I was actually going to come find you guys first. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So, we went in here and like he goes to the cafeteria and he goes, "Oh, well, you can come over here and you can have Cincinnati chili and then you can have this, and you can have that." I'm like, "Is this dude just going to walk around this cafeteria with me?" And he did, like everything we walked around. And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm looking at this menu." And he's just standing there. And I'm just like, "I don't know what I want." And you're going to love this. So finally, he gets something. And he asked me, he goes, "Do you want to try it?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to try your food.
Oh God.
I'm good. No, I'll get something." Well, Eric was down there. Eric and PJ,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve is getting ready to come out
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
food and Eric was down there so I saw Eric and he's like, "Hey," and I'm talking to Eric, this guy, because he had kept walking and I stopped to talk to Eric. He came back. So as Eric and I are standing there having this conversation, this dude's just like
Yeah. Just standing there
standing
next to
there.
you.
And so I'm like, I didn't even remember his name. I'm like, "Eric, this is,"
Oh.
and I'm
Oh. He
like,
didn't
I
get the
don't
clue from that. Fuck.
no, I'm like, I don't even know his name. And he's just
Oh
like,
my
"All right,
God. Oh
well."
my God. He
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just
Like.
like,
Like at least if you're gonna follow a woman around Horror Hound like a creep, at least get her name, you know?
it was the oddest. And then like when we came up and found you guys and I was eating that hot dog with that hot dog with brisket, fried onions, queso. I think that's all I had on it. And then kettle chips. As I was standing there eating, that's why I was just like scarfing it down because I'm like, what am I going to do with this guy? Like, because at that point, he just like was telling me his whole story. He's from Indiana. He comes to these conventions, but nobody wants to come with him. He was here by himself. His friends are into different things. He has one friend that likes conventions, but his wife doesn't like it. So, I
He's
mean,
married.
just
Okay.
his
That was
friend's
friend. Yeah,
wife,
yeah, yeah.
just on and on. I can even tell you he's allergic or he's not home long enough to have cats. He has no pets. But yeah, so it was like just completely every place. And I thought, okay, I'll walk with him because obviously he was a talker. He was very excited that he had somebody he could walk around with. And I was by myself too. So okay, we'll walk around, we'll look at the stands. And he was very excited, telling me about different things. And he was telling me about the books he likes to read because one of the guys that were there, he bought some of his books and he was showing me different things he liked. Very nice guy. But then I'm like, my God, I'm tired of walking around. I mean, I'm not a very athletic person. So I said, well, I'm a little tired. I'm just going to go out here and sit down. And so he comes and sits with me. And he had said that he had pictures that were going to get taken. He had a photo op package. And then he also had one of the panels he wanted to go listen to. And I'm thinking, okay, so his panel, and we even walked to where the panels were. And I said, oh, is this where the panel's at that you're going to listen to in like a half hour? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I thought, okay, I'll get rid of him, when that panel starts. And then he goes, oh, but I don't really need to go to the panel. I don't need to go to the panel. There's nothing you can listen to at that panel that you probably can't listen to in the DVD extras or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Because then if I can't get rid of him at 1:00, the next thing he had was at 3.
Oh my
So
God.
we just fucking sat there and people watched, and I love to people watch. So we just people watched. I told you about that lady with the big ass fucking camel toe. That's that Ritter. Goddamn.
Oh
And
my
I'm sitting. So it's like right in front of my face. Like, I gotta tell Nick about this. I could tell you whether she was shaved or not. No,
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could.
But yeah,
Jeez.
I was like, my God, doesn't that itch? I mean,
Jeez.
rubbing up against you.
Because I was worried about you because this guy was following you, and I was just like, I kept tell my friend, when you passed by, I told my friend Pete to like gently come get you and bring you back, or like pull you away from the guy, but like he just would not budge. He was like gum on the bottom of your shoe. He would not get the fucking hint and just.
He absolutely was, dude. And then that Saturday night, because you and your friends were going to go hang out and have some drinks and all that. And I was feeling like shit. That fucking brisket, hot dog, whatever fucking I ate. I had a headache. My stomach was tearing me up. I'm like, man, I just want to go back to my hotel room. So I'm in the hotel room, and that night is when they have the whorehound like party thing. And so this dude texted me and he's like, hey, are you coming to the party? And I said, no, probably not. I think I'm just going to eat some and hang out. And he's like, well, because we're at the same hotel. He's like, well, it's boring here. It's really
Oh
boring
my
here because
God.
everybody's breaking off into groups. Can you please just come down for a little bit? And I'm like, no, I don't want to come. And if I'm going to go out, I'll go hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not coming to this fucking party. And then he goes, well, can I come up to your room and hang out with you? Motherfucker.
Oh God.
I don't even know who the fuck you are. And then on
Jesus.
Sunday, I thought, I didn't text him in the morning because I thought he would text me, but he didn't. And then when I was walking up to the building, because he's a smoker, and that's another thing. He didn't smoke when he was with me either, because I thought I'd ditch him when he was smoking. But I saw him off on the side and he was smoking. So I quickly went in, found you guys, and was that, I'll be damned he didn't find me. And then I was like, okay, I give up. I'll just walk around with the dude. And I don't know if you caught it or not, but he left when I left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we walked the whole, because I'm thinking he doesn't have to leave. I'm gonna leave because I wanted to get home and get some stuff done and all that. And and of course our vehicles were parked right across from each other. So
that's fucking weird.
I'm like,
weird.
why couldn't he park clear? He could have been parked clear on the other side of the parking lot. No, motherfucker was like right across from me. So all the way up to my vehicle.
Jeez.
And then gave him a hug goodbye. And I never heard from him again.
Good.
That's it. No, now I'm like, that was odd. The way he was like stuck to me, and then never heard from him again. It was just very weird. Not that I want to hear from him, but now I'm just kind of like, I hope I didn't offend him. But do I care?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
do you care?
not really, but I don't know, but that was fucking weird. I mean, but
Yeah.
you could tell he was a talker. He just was very excited about being there, very excited because he said
He,
he usually goes to these things by himself.
yeah, you could, and also you could tell he was, I don't want to say he was like mentally disabled, but you could tell there was like something a little off with him. You could just tell.
Well, I think you hit it when you said he was socially awkward.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was definitely social awkward because even when I was
Me,
asking him,
I'm like, he's on the scale, man.
no, he
That
is. No, he
guy,
100%,
he's a little.
100% is. Because even when I was talking to him and he was interacting with me and the way he was like the body language is kind of thing was like,
Mhm.
you haven't encountered your type before, man. I've done a lot of these conventions.
Just
I know,
slightly. Yeah.
I
Yep.
know
I
what's
could
going on.
tell right away. And I was like, he was just excited. He met someone he that was interesting and made him feel like he could be interesting also. I mean, because we talked about a lot, we walked around a lot, and he didn't have to walk around by himself. Um, but I felt bad because I didn't want to go walk around with some 20-year-old like a convention. I wanted to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. But no, yeah, even what is it? That Friday night we um went out, went downtown, we were starving and we ended up at this fucking bar because we couldn't find anything else to eat and like we had to order like club sandwiches and chips and wings, which was actually fucking great. We made an order like right before they were gonna close the kitchen. We're just like, yeah, we want these.
Mm.
So it was a bar that's like a block from the place we were staying at, and like not Seaport, it's somewhere else like in Ohio. I forget exactly where. And Dion had the genius idea to go and not wait for a waitress and go to the bar and make the order, which was great.
Mm.
Or else we would have fucking starved. So we're sitting there shooting this shit, having a good time. Friday, and we're still hungry, so we go to White Castle, which is a fucking mistake. And we're pretty well drunk because we had very little to eat, so we've been drinking. Get a bunch of White Castle that just didn't like. Oh, it was terrible.
I know, but you crave it,
Oh,
right?
oh,
Like
100% you do. When you were drunk, you want that like cheesy, bready, meaty shit, like that
oniony, like
salty goodness of like whatever the
greasy.
fuck it is. Like it's just
Oh,
terrible.
Jesus.
Usually, yeah, you
Yeah.
want something greasy. It's really what it is. It's just terrible. So, we ended up going back. We ended up turning on an Andy Sedaris movie. Basically, it's just like tits and guns for like 90 minutes. It's basically one of those movies. And like Jeff falls asleep on the couch. I'm still eating my food and like slowly falling asleep. And eventually we just like crash out and we get up the
Love
next
it.
day and get dressed up in our suits and go get our friend and then come to the convention. We're like an hour late.
Love it.
We want to be and like an hour late is like good for us because usually we're like 2 hours late. So we actually
Yeah, yeah.
we had a good time. It was funny because we went to Dunkin' Donuts. We got coffee and donuts, and what is it? They screwed up the donut order.
How do you screw up a donut
Well, here's
order?
the thing: like they didn't really screw it up. They gave Jeff the wrong ones he asked for, but like we still got donuts, so it's like not a big deal. But our friend made the point, and he's like, "Hey, call them because they screwed it up. Like they're gonna make it right and give you like free ones tomorrow." I'm like,
Mm.
and he's like, and Jeff did it. And, he was very like he wasn't mean. He was just kind of like, "Hey, the order was not correct. Can you help
Yeah.
me out here?" Sure enough, they did. They said, "Hey, come in tomorrow, talk to this guy, and we'll get you your donuts." And sure enough, it worked. The Sunday we got free donuts at the convention. So we got like I guess like half price donuts really, but still it was great. No,
Yeah.
we were there Saturday. It was good.
Nice.
We were looking good. We were in our suits, talking to people, drinking, having a good time. We all had weed on us. Goddamn, dude, we all had weed on us. It was terrible. We all had like our little vape pens or like
Oh,
edibles
okay.
or like something. It was fucking terrible. Oh God, yeah. We're
That's
just.
still something I've never done. I've never had an edible.
I mean, I mean, I'll try to save some for you. I got some 5 milligram ones that are real light, that are real light. If you want any of those.
Yeah, I've tried pot 2 times, maybe three, but not since I was 21.
Okay.
So
One of our friends,
it's been a while.
one of our friends, you met him, Pete. He lives in Michigan, so he always offers to like, hey man,
Oh, okay.
do you need anything? And he's like, yeah, I do. And he'll be like, all right, go to this link and tell me what you want. And he'll go the week before and buy a bunch of shit. So me being in Georgia and being very far from anything like that, I gave him like a $200 order
Yeah, yeah.
of stuff. And I got like disposables, I got cartridges, I got edibles, I got pre-rolls. Like I'm
Tell him to make sure not to drive through Indiana. He'll
no,
end up fucking trafficking with
oh
a
God.
trafficking charge.
Well, no, he keeps everything in a very he keeps everything he drives very well and he keeps everything in like a lockbox like in part of his car that like they won't check.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Um
that's fucking Indiana still. We're a very backward state
no, but
still.
it was funny because like he like that Friday night I was like, "Hey man, let me get the stuff for tomorrow and I'll give you the box Saturday because he's going to come over
Hmm.
Saturday and hang out." So he gives me the box, and it's funny because like me and my other friend got some stuff as well, and my friend only got one thing. He got like a little cartridge for his vape, and he's like, "Man, you got all this stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, because like I don't get it where I am. You're in Ohio. You can like jump across to Indiana or Michigan and like get it, in a couple
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
I have to
Yep.
take a fucking day trip."
Yeah. Yeah. I could actually be in Michigan in 2 hours,
Yeah,
if that.
yeah,
If that.
and I'm sure there are some dispensaries at the border you can go like visit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because
Yeah.
I've done that before when I went to a friend's wedding in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
We took a car ride to a very small shitty town like in the middle of a fucking cornfield. One street, it wasn't even a street light. It was just like the blinking like indicator like warning light is all it was. And I
Oh
swear
god.
to God there was a
That could be
dispensary.
several towns.
I swear to God the only nice buildings were like the dispensaries at both ends of the town. That's
Oh
it.
good. That's so funny.
And we went in and bought like $100 worth of a lot of stuff for the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a good time. It was a very good
Yeah.
time.
I wish edibles and all that was more acceptable, 20 years ago when my dad was around. Because when he had cancer, morphine and shit, that didn't help at all.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
couldn't eat. He
Yeah.
couldn't eat. He lost the appetite. So that,
Well, yeah, and one thing I do now is like after my Orange Theory workout at night when like I've eaten my dinner or whatever and it's kind of
mhm.
late, I'll take a small edible. So I
Yeah.
sleep better and I recover better.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and I know somebody told me it's like, "Oh, why don't you just take a melatonin?" It's different. It's incredibly different.
Oh my God. Melatonin makes me feel like I drank a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
I hate melatonin.
Yeah. So, well, it was basically an experiment. I wanted to try and see like if
Hmm.
my recovery is a little bit quicker, if I sleep better and whatever. And I was
Yeah.
tracking everything on my fucking watch app and figuring out the sleep stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
think I think a lot of people it was just illegal for so long. It's hard for us to let that go. And I'll even say us because my one child spent 6 months in jail
oh jeez,
for residue.
oh that's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't even have it was residue. He was arrested for minor consumption. And when they patted him down or when they were at the jail and he was emptying his pockets, they found a baggie with residue. Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's
Mhm.
yeah. That's dumb. I hate that.
That's the kind of town we live in.
God, I know. Here in Atlanta, like it's decriminalized, so you'll get a misdemeanor or like a fine,
I
which is
think now
good.
he would. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. I like that, but like do more, do more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now he would, but it is a lot natural. I'll tell you the one thing that I want to try. We'll have to take a road trip. Maybe you can find some for me. Hiawatha. I want the real.
Okay, all
Like,
right. I'll have to make some calls and stuff, and I'll see what I can do.
yeah, man.
You might need a fucking drug Sherpa or something like some witch doctor to like help you along. In all honesty, I'm serious.
If I'm gonna go out, if I'm gonna try it, because I was always so against it, but simply because it's illegal, and my one kid just wouldn't quit getting in trouble, and I'm like, they're fucking watching you. Will you just stop? Like this, just stop. They're
Yeah,
watching you.
yeah.
But now that they're both older and really not my responsibility, I mean, um, yeah, I mean, I would love some Hiawatha, at least to try it.
Yeah,
And that's
maybe
all natural.
maybe some listeners can can help us out.
Yeah,
Send
lead us to where we can go. ericadyerpodcast at gmail.com. But I'll tell you who could probably help me find some.
Oh, I know.
My did you see the link I sent you?
Yes. Yes. Is he still coming through or what?
Yeah.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
I haven't talked to him because he's been texting me, just a little bit. He probably has somebody in each state, but I haven't heard from him in a few days.
Okay, that's
But
not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad.
he's going to be in Arkansas during the eclipse.
Okay.
But then a few weeks after that, he's going to be coming through, and he has said he'd like to see me. He would like to make it through here because he's actually going across the country is what he's doing, and he has friends all over, so he's stopping,
Okay.
and spending some time, and he wants to go through Ohio, which you got to go through Indiana, and he would love to see me.
I would say meet him up for some, some veggie burgers or whatever the hell he's into. He seems like one of those people.
He
Um,
probably is. I
yeah,
never
he
thought
seems
about
he
that.
seems like one of those. He seems like one because you were showing me what he does and telling me what he does and everything. I'm just like he seems like a a sandal wearing vegan burger kind of guy. But you know what? That's his own thing. That's cool. You want to do it? That's fine. As long as you don't like try to like tell me meat's murder or some bullshit like that. We're okay. We're cool. Um, but no, definitely keep talking to him, meet up, see what's up, and see what happens.
Oh, and this was another thing. So I had told him because, of course, he's going to be, going all over. I got to go back out to Texas at the beginning of May because we're doing some pickup shots for that cheerleader movie.
Oh, nice, nice.
And he is going to be in Austin. I'm going to be in outside of Houston.
Okay.
And without another reason, it would be great to see you again. So I might get laid this year. I mean, it might take some ayahuasca, but I'm like, because I keep thinking, okay, sure, you'll come through Indiana, sure, I'll see you. And now I don't know. I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, it's going to be like one of those things. Once the dam breaks, then I'll be like, God, that was so good. But you see that guy over there? I'm wondering what he's like. Yeah, thank you. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I gotta now test it all out.
Oh my God. Then yeah, the podcast will get really interesting. Then it's like, well, this week
Well, that was always my problem. I sound like such a prude because it's been so long, but that's because my problem is I really love men and I love sex but I don't like to settle. And I just always think there's something better out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah, no, I get
So
that. I get that.
yeah, and I got tired of hurting people's feelings. So I'm just like, I'll keep it to myself, I guess.
Well, hopefully this dude can help you out.
I don't know. I don't know if we go to that one big festival that he likes to go to. He's mentioned to me a couple times that I should consider going.
Here's the thing,
Maybe.
if he can for surely get you in, I would go because
You
it's
think?
yeah, because here's the thing, it's a hippie thing. It's very cool, it's very interesting.
I've always wanted to go.
I would no do it because here's the thing, you won't know if you like it if you don't go. At
Well, and
least
I actually have been following them for a few years.
okay.
I like get their
Their newsletter?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read about them all the time.
But
So
it's out west, correct?
correct.
Okay, let's see
Be
here.
hot. Be hot.
Let's see. Okay, well, I'm looking at the dates for it. I know what weekend that is. That's gonna be a little difficult.
Mm.
Like I couldn't go with you, but no. Here's why. I already have something planned for that weekend. I know what weekend it is,
Yeah.
and that's yeah, that's the problem. Is like I know what weekend it is, and I already have something planned for that weekend because there's a convention happening here
Okay.
in Atlanta that I absolutely that people that like 4 or 5 of my friends all of a sudden like, oh, we're going. We need to like fucking bunk at your place. I'm like, God damn it, really? Fuck, okay. Because like friends of friends just recently that I met at my friend's birthday party
Yeah.
a month ago were like, hey man, we got tickets to this thing. How far do you live? I'm like, oh, 12 minutes from downtown. They're like, fuck yeah, we'll just sleep on your floor and we'll just get drunk and this, that, and the other. And like apparently one of them is a nurse and he has the hydration bags like they do in Vegas. So I think
Oh, yeah.
so
Nice.
apparently I'm gonna have a fucking needle in my arm every like 3 days, like hydrating myself, trying to get to this convention. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. No,
Yeah.
that'd be good, man.
Yeah. So yeah, and another like a couple of friends want to come down and do it too. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like it was funny because I've always told people it's like, oh, you should come down to this convention, and finally all of them have fucking listened. And it's weird because like I actually have to like play tour guide now and do this convention. So yeah, I will definitely bring edibles, vapes, and alcohol with me at this convention just to kind of like
Nice.
see what happens. So yeah, but no, the convention. I think what is it? It's Dragon Con. Dragon Con's what it is. It's
Yeah,
like
I was just thinking Dragon Con because last year you talked about that.
yeah. Well, I didn't want to. I didn't really plan on going this year because God,
Yeah,
how do I?
because last year you were in that singles thing or whatever, where everybody was talking about their pronouns, right?
Yeah, and that's
See,
and that's
I remember.
and that's kind of like the entirety of Dragon Con are those types of people. And like well, once again, like I'm not against that. That's cool. Whatever, you do
Yeah,
you,
sure.
whatever.
Yep.
But if you get mad if I call you if I say hey dude and you get like pissed off at me, it's like dude is a fucking ubiquitous word. I use it for men and women. Like it's just how it is, you know. But if you're
Yeah.
that if you're that uptight at this kind of convention where everybody's like very cool, like that's a problem. But yeah, so I might have to like fucking pony up the money, just get a ticket and just go with some friends and just have like a really really good time. We'll see what happens. Um yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens because I think 3 or 4 of them are wanting to come down and do it and I'm just like okay, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Did I
Because
take
even
your seat?
because even some friends who have moved down here recently, were like, "Hey, we got tickets. We're gonna go this year." I'm just like, "Okay, cool." So, like 5 or 6, like I think it's like six, at least 6 people are wanting to go with me, or at least meet up down there. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
That'll be cool.
But I'm not gonna do that fucking singles thing again. That was bullshit. God, that group.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry. That just aggravates me to no end. And I mean no disrespect to anybody, but if I'm going to introduce myself and I say, "Hi, my name's Erica," that I think should be good enough. I don't need to say, "Hi, my name's Erica. I go by," I almost said he,
yeah,
she.
but it's
I did. I did.
I heard it almost come out. Oh God. But yeah, no,
Oh,
no,
now we
no.
know.
Yeah. But no, and then that's the thing is like I don't want to like because I've dealt with those people before and it's like, man, I'm not I just want to enjoy myself. Just want to enjoy
I
myself.
don't,
So
yeah, I just don't think it, like you said, ambiguously, I would say like guys, come on, guys. And it could be men or women or they or whatever. It just, yeah.
yeah.
Now, if somebody points it out to me, because I did work with somebody and you do get to a point to where it is disrespectful. The one hospital I worked at, one of our trainers went by they. Um, okay, that's fine. And another principal trainer, which is what I do, kept referring to this person as she or her. And it was like 2 or 3 times. Um, the other person was like, "Well, I've already told you before, I like to go by they because I don't." Honestly, they had a very manly appearance, but was born biologically a female, goes by they. And the fact that they pointed out a few times, and when I was in the room the one time, because I'm thinking, "Bitch, you're going to get fired." the other principal trainer goes, I really don't care what you go by. It's whatever. She, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, you're gonna get fired.
Go to HR right now. I would at least get the person. I would at least get the person's name and refer to them by their name at least, so
Yes,
it's not
that's what I
bad.
try to do. That's what I
Yeah,
try to do. If I think I'm gonna be slip up, I will say their name, because I actually have a friend whose child went from one gender, has now identifies as another gender, um and has changed names. So what I tried to do is make sure to refer to this child with their new name,
yeah,
so I don't have to worry about saying the wrong.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
so difficult nowadays. I don't want to disrespect anybody. I don't understand it all the time,
yeah.
but it's not
Same.
for me to understand, I guess.
Yeah, same here. Just kind of like, I don't care, but then again, like, I don't want to be inconvenienced.
Yeah, it's not for, yeah, I just don't get so upset if I slip, because there's no reason for that. I
Yeah,
don't mean anything by it.
yeah.
Either way, I'm not fucking you, so I don't care.
Oh, speaking of that, one of my friends who I've grown up with like ever since kindergarten, she married a guy. I was actually the videographer at her wedding like 10 years ago. And she married a dude and they moved to Atlanta, from DC or whatever in the last couple of years. And like I went to go out to dinner with them and she had to warn me. Like she kept referring to her husband as like they and other
Oh,
things. And like I asked her out of curiosity, I was like, is there something wrong with your partner or husband? And she had to be like, no, he's transitioning. I'm just like, that's interesting. I didn't say that, but I was like, okay.
wow.
And I was just like, what do I and I was meeting them for dinner. I was like, what do I refer to him as? And she's like, this. And just call him they, and it's fine. I'm just like, that's a weird one because
Was she going to be able to, did she stay in the marriage?
she's still with him. Yeah, she's still with him right now.
Wow. See, that I always find that fascinating, because that's love. That's
Yeah,
love of the individual, not the gender, not the,
yeah.
but that's a
Well, and
rough one.
well, okay, here's the thing as well. It might be love, it also might be because he makes like a really fat paycheck.
That could be too. You can always
Yeah.
get dick on the side.
Yeah, because like what he does, like he does a lot of stuff for productions in town, and he can coordinate things and this, that, and the other, and he's making like a
Okay.
good amount of fucking money. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
maybe that too. Maybe
yeah,
that too.
and she has medical issues. So, I mean, I assume it's kind of like, well, shut up and smile.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to find somebody now since you're older. It's like, I get it. It's like a survival thing. You kind of just have to. And I mean, they're like, I remember interacting with them. Like he's I'm still gonna refer to him as he. He's a funny fucking guy. And even like when I went up to meet them, and it's like, hey man, it's good to see you. The pandemic was really shit. He's like, yeah, a lot happened during the pandemic, and he's referring to himself. And I
Mhm.
was like, motherfucker, you're still funny. You're still funny. All right, good, good. This is good. This is good. Okay.
You
But
know,
yeah.
Will Ferrell, his best friend is now transgender. And Will Ferrell and his friend are coming out with a documentary where they drive across country. Yeah, actually, they were friends for many, many years. And then his friend told him, or told Will Ferrell, that he was transitioning, or she was transitioning. See, now I'm confusing myself, to a woman. Yeah.
No, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's best friend is transgender.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, but and it's funny because this girl I've known since I was a kindergarten. Her other friend I know who was like in makeup and production in Las Vegas. Like I love them both. They're both good friends of mine, but they're both like these two girls are very odd.
Mm.
It's one of those things where it's like it's one of those things when I learned later on like they were both marrying dudes. I'm like, this is weird because it didn't seem like that type, and like they were my friends. I didn't give a shit. I really didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, you're marrying a dude? Okay.
Surprise.
Yeah. But it's
Oh,
funny
good.
because the other friend I knew who's in Vegas, apparently she now has a girlfriend with her husband.
Oh, so they got a throuple.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good for them. Hmm. I couldn't do that. I couldn't share. I would love a monogamous relationship where we never lived together and didn't even have to see each other every day. I would love that. Because I don't want somebody that's out fucking around and maybe getting a disease or getting somebody pregnant. But yeah, no, we don't even have to live in the same state. I mean, that would be great.
I don't want to see your face. Just come through like once a week and just bang me out, and it's fine. Whatever,
Yeah, holidays, weekends, just like my dad had it. His, dated that one woman for 15 years. They saw each other on the weekends and holidays. That was a great relationship. She lived like 45 minutes away from us. Yeah, that was great. I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah. No, that'd be, dude. That, oh God, yeah, that'd be
But
the dream.
that's hard to find. That's hard to find.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, that's true. It's very, very true. Um, let's see. Speaking of which, have you signed up for your online dominatrix classes?
No, actually, it started last week. Okay, it started last week. Now they are still letting people sign up because they did record it. So I could watch the recording of last week and still take the class. So I'm thinking about it. I have until the 6th to decide. But last night I signed up for
Oh God.
an intimacy coordinator class. I'm going to get
What?
certified. I'm going to get
What?
certified. Yeah. And it's one that is approved by SAG.
Oh
So
Jesus! Wow, that's cool.
I made sure to research SAG's website and research the different ones that are SAG approved. And I found the one I'm going to go with. So I did sign up for that. I'm still thinking of the dominatrix one too. But like I said, I got a few days to kind of think about that. But yeah, I looked her up and I was like, God dang it, because that started on, I think it was the 24th
Yeah.
was their
Started
first
this month.
class.
Yeah, started this last month. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, and she said that she was going to give people until the 6th, because then of course then the next one comes. The next meeting comes. So I don't know.
No problem.
I probably will, knowing me, because I'm not doing anything else. I'm not doing anything else. But wouldn't that be funny if I'm doing my intimacy coordinator course and then I'm also doing a dominatrix
Well,
course?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. God damn it. Hold on. Hold on. So basically, what would happen is that if the perfect situation is like you get to be an intimacy coordinator on like 50 Shades of Grey part like 18.
I
And then
know.
like the people on set are like, how do we whip somebody correctly? It's like, oh, like this.
Yes, wouldn't that be great? And I'm just
That would
thinking,
be hilarious.
I'm like, because I think they would work well together, because I would learn all about it's like two different sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't know, I'm kind of burned out on what I was doing. Not, I'm good at it, but I get bored every 10 years or so. And I'm like, all right, time for a change.
Well, and here's the thing is like with the intimacy coordinator, that's a real thing, and they need a lot of them in
Yeah.
Hollywood right now because
Well,
and also
you,
and also
yeah.
with being who you are, they're probably gonna hire you a little bit easier than they would like, a 20 something or an 18 something.
Well, and you said that, and I think you hit it on the nail on the head. What really made me, because I've been thinking about it since I started doing the movies, and it was actually when I filmed the one, it's not out yet, but Pay to Die. I played an intimacy coordinator in that movie, and I'm like, what the fuck is an intimacy coordinator? And so I looked it up, and that was the first I'd actually heard about it. And
Yeah.
then so now I've been kind of looking, and that fucking documentary came out, Quiet on Set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's a niche, because now all of these sets film, movies, well, that
TV
is
shows, yeah, everything.
TV shows, they're all going to be extra vigilant to make sure that they're doing what's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when children are going to be there on the
Yeah.
set.
Yeah. And
So I'm like, they're going
yeah.
to hire more. This
Oh,
is going to
no.
be a big field.
Well, and here's the thing: the intimacy coordinator thing just started. I think it started
Mhm.
around COVID, and I kept hearing
Yep.
about it. And like they've
Just a
used
few
them in,
years ago.
yeah,
Yep.
they've used them a lot, and it's one of those things where it's like it also came out of the Me Too movement in Hollywood because you had a lot
Mhm.
of women who were
That's where it started.
yeah, unfortunately, like horribly mistreated, horribly abused, especially in the Hollywood
Mhm.
system and doing big like $1 million movies. Like even they were just like, oh yeah, just take off your fucking pants and get in there and
Yep.
do it. And it's just like that's not how this works.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's funny because like I'm somebody who like very much has like recorded two people fucking like
Mhm.
in my friends' shorts. Mind you, these aren't porns. These are my friends' shorts who have worked on. And it's one of those things where it's like we've had, and like it's always weird because it's happened a couple times where it'll be a bunch of us dudes and there'll be one female there.
Mhm.
And it happened about 3 or 4 years ago because my friend was doing a short and he needed a female. And like she just walks in and is just like, okay, what do you need me to do? And we're just like, hey, this is kind of like the intimate scene.
Yeah.
Um, here's what we would like it to look like. And we just need you to kind of like act in that fashion, and we'll get the shots in a flattering manner so we don't show anything.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things like being the camera guy. It's like I have to talk to them. I have to be very direct. And it's like we're only shooting from like here up. We're only getting the shot. We're getting this for this purpose. Like this is what we're doing. This so we can cut it all
Yeah.
together later. And
Yep.
even my other friend John, like he's done a few of these scenes, and it's just like he talks them the same way. He's like very direct, and here's what's going down. Here's what's going to be. Um, and that's it. And the
Mhm.
both times we've had, I think the first time we had a woman come over and just be in the scene, she was comfortable, she was fine.
Mhm.
We're not those dudes, luckily. She
Yeah.
she walked into the right place, and we were cool, so it's fine. But we recently had an actual friend of ours who we know, and she was basically naked the whole time doing it, and she was comfortable as well. We were professional. We're
Mhm.
just like, okay, we're gonna get these shots. Are you cool? You need anything? Whatever. She's like, no, it's cool. Let's get this done. I'm like, all right, let's get it done.
Yeah, and usually, I mean, I'm sure they are. Definitely, I've been on a lot of these independent movies that have like these OnlyFans
Yeah,
um models and content creators. But that was another thing I thought, okay, I'm trying to build my film resume, and wouldn't that look great too? Because if by chance somebody did hire me on a small budget movie, you're also getting an intimacy coordinator.
yeah,
So if because that's not something they're ever going to hire. A lot of these small budget movies. Um, Speaking of, did you ever? You probably haven't listened to that podcast link I sent you, did you? About those guys talking about Camp Blood 666 Part
no,
2.
no, 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 no. I got it's saved in our messages, but I have not looked. I have not listened to it at all because yeah, I haven't had a minute to myself.
Okay. No, no, no. It's like 2 hours long. But one thing I wanted to bring up about that, because this was another thing that made me think of the intimacy coordinator. Um, Somebody has it out for the director, Will Colazzo and Julianne Prescott. So over the couple years that I've known them, several times, like somebody has posted things on an IMDb page for their different movies. Just like how you could do trivia or you can answer questions, and pretty much anybody can do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
well, on Camp Blood 666 Part 2, somebody had posted as a trivia question that there is a scene in the movie where Jamie Morgan and Heather Harlow are in the shower together. Only one of them is topless. Um, I don't think they both get topless. I wasn't really watching that closely. But somebody had posted on the website, the trivia IMDb page, that Will Colazzo pressured Jamie Morgan to do that scene with Heather Harlow because it would be good for her career, that Jamie really didn't want to do it. And the guys on the podcast even said, well, that's kind of an odd trivia question. Not sure why somebody would say that. And what's unfortunate is, first of all, that's not what happened at all. That is not what happened. Jamie was the other chick in the movie that was like almost completely naked.
Yeah.
So she was not pressured to do anything. I talked to her. She's a woman in her 30s, you know, she was not pressured. Because I was there. And but if I do get like this intimacy coordinator thing, I could be kind of like that second set of eyes. Is there anything happening here that somebody could look at a little odd? But yeah, I thought that was very unfortunate that the guys actually mentioned it in their podcast. So when you hear that part, if you do end up listening to the podcast, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
That's somebody that has it out for Will or Julie. I don't know which one they hate, but they obviously, I don't know. I don't know, but it's unfortunate because they
Yeah.
keep doing shit like
Well, I
that.
mean, and yeah, that's the thing with with independent film, especially in you know, in that kind of area. I've had it happen. I mean, even my friend Richard had it happen to him, where he's had people who are just like, "Yeah, you're doing okay. You're not doing that well," and it's like, motherfucker, he's made 5 movies. Like this is not a joke. And you'll get people who are jealous who can't do it themselves, or maybe
Mm,
like their girlfriend was in the movie and is topless or something, and it's like a fucking forever reminder, and they hate that, and like they broke up with her or some shit. Like
mm,
you get a lot of fucking weird people, and also like my only gripe with those particular directors is like their stuff looks like it's on a handicap. That's my only gripe with them. That's literally it.
yeah,
Everything else, but even then, everything else is fine. You know, I've made independent movies. I know how it is. Like it's not fucking easy. And the fact that they're pumping out stuff constantly is a feat. It really is. It's wonderful. Good for
yeah,
them. If and you know, and if you have somebody who's like giving you shit and hating on you, like that's
yeah.
rough, man. You know, because even if the first independent film I ever worked on when I moved to Atlanta, I learned that the producer and the director were both like pieces of shit.
Mm,
The producer was very out upfront about it and was like just a fucking piece of shit. I learned a year later that the director was the same way, but he was very, you know, low key about it and would text girls and ask them questions drunk and
okay.
do a bunch of dumb shit, you know. So yeah, but it
Yeah,
was, you know, and like yeah, you get that on independent sets, you know, as well too. But I never knew about it because like for me, I'm the camera guy. Like I'm just doing the job.
yeah, yeah,
You know, I'm just doing the thing. So that's it. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that or anything, and it was unfortunate.
yeah,
Because you know, yeah, it was just, yeah, it's just a scummy thing to do. But yeah, it was just, it's weird, man. People in especially independent film are really, yeah, some of them are just really jealous, and they can't, you know, make their movie or get the actors they
yeah.
wanted or this that, and the other. It's a strange group of people for sure.
Yeah, it's been quite a wild ride these last 2 years because I'm just kind of a fly on the wall. And what's so funny is I try not to take sides with anybody because what I'm really doing is I'm observing and I'm making notes.
Yeah,
So, but I have really noticed there is a trend that I, a lot of jealousy, man, and not just jealousy for um the filmmakers, but a lot of the actors or actresses. I have sat there, you know, because, you know, when they got the holding area and we're just kind of sitting there, I'll hear some of these actors just tear apart other actors or actresses. Not some of them haven't even met them. It's something that they heard.
yeah, yeah.
Well, and the sad thing is not a lot of people will speak up. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, and you know, yeah, and it's also, yeah, the Hollywoodness of making a movie will kind of trickle down to the independent stuff, even though it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But you'll get that to where as well, like you'll hear people say stuff about other people, and you don't, especially if you're just like helping out on a movie, or if you're just like a bit
Yep.
part actor, or you're just like a background actor, you saying something may get you just like let go that day, even though you're not getting paid or
Yeah.
anything. That it will just they'll just waste your time because
Yeah.
they want to waste your time kind of thing. So you'll have that happen as well. But it's I don't know, it's fucking weird sometimes. It's just
Yeah.
very catty. It's like
It is.
we're all making this movie for fucking nothing. We're all here because we want to be.
Yep.
Like just make the best thing you can and move on. You know.
Yeah. Well, I know I've been on a few film sets now where if somebody did try to draw me in, I have straight up said, I'm going to stop you right there. I was not part of that situation. Neither were you. I've heard this side, I've heard that side, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We weren't there. What is there to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's always just like, oh, I've heard this, I've heard that. It's like you've
Uh-huh.
heard anything, you weren't there. You were just hearing
Like
it
a
like
game of telephone.
No, 100% it
Yeah.
is. 100% it is. Yeah.
God. But yeah, so that quiet on set, I cannot wait because I don't want to pay for Max, but I cannot wait until I can watch that. Um, because I think more stories like that are going to
Yeah.
be
And you're
coming out.
probably you're and like once you get your certification, you're part of SAG and things like that, and you're paying your dues or whatever. I
Hmm.
think you'll probably work in like North or South Carolina and probably a lot in Atlanta as well.
Yeah. And I think my training background is going to help because we have a lot of communication that's involved, a lot of observation. Um, I really think that's going to help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ever since I did that one movie, I was just like, I've been looking at it and looking at the different programs and
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
mean, if you ever come down to Atlanta to shoot or do your job, I got a spare bedroom, so you're
Okay.
all good. You don't have to pay for a hotel room. Then you're
Good,
good to go.
good. Yeah, because it's like, oh, what kind of drive are you? I think it's like a 10-hour drive.
10-hour drive, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's about what it is to my sisters. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. You got to do some self-study things, and then you actually have meetings, and then like some of their final things, you actually have to go through a mentor program where you are on set with somebody and you're just basically they're mentoring you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're an intern, you're not getting paid.
Yeah, well, and also I think you being a woman is going to help out a lot and make it a lot easier as well
Hmm.
too. If it was like
Yeah.
me doing it, it'd be weird, you know.
Yeah. And like you said, my age is going to help too, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think all of it is a net positive for what you're doing for sure, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. Also, I mean, it gets you in the door in the Hollywood system, even though that's a fucking cesspool.
Yeah. Yeah. And
all I
it does need cleaned up. My
all I all
God's,
I all I want is their goddamn money to make my own shit. That's all I want. I just want their
I
money so I can make my
know.
own shit. I do not want their filthy hands all over my stuff. I just want their
Yep.
money so I can make my own stuff. That's all I really want.
Just give me money, man. Just
Yeah,
give
just
me
just just
money.
shoot me the check or fucking Venmo me like from over there. I don't want you to fucking hand it to me. Just
Oh
do it from
God.
afar, God damn it. Don't touch it.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. I
Because no,
love it.
and we're learning a lot more this year, especially with the music industry and things like that. Like they're
Mhm.
giant pieces of shit. Like
Yeah.
I've never even people who are telling me it's like, oh, you should go move to LA. It's like, fuck that. I'm gonna be fine here with my friends, and I'd rather make things with them because I know they're good people.
Oh yeah. And
They're not weirdos. They're not weirdos.
Atlanta is booming when it comes to movies.
Yeah,
God, you guys are just, I keep reading more and more about filmmaking in Atlanta. It's just going crazy right
yeah,
now.
yeah. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I'd rather just make stuff with my friends because I know they're not fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
There's too much backstabbing in LA, I think.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, like somebody could say, "Oh, I heard this," and
Hmm.
like that little bit in LA will kill your career if you're not like the nicest person
Yeah.
to everybody all the time.
Yep.
Dude, oh my God, jeez, you will, yeah, you will die. You will die. I mean, like I know Samuel L. Jackson said something recently. He's like, I was always nice to everybody, even the PAs, because they may be directors and writers soon, and I want to be on the good side and be the
Hmm.
person that didn't yell at them.
Yep.
So
Yep. Did you see my post about Grey's Anatomy?
What was it
You
about?
liked it? So, Grey's Anatomy, which has been around forever,
Oh
it's
God,
taken
yes.
place in a hospital. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but Epic, the EMR, the electronic medical record that I teach, that's what I go to hospitals and teach. They are creating kind of a shell program, so like a training environment that will be used on Grey's Anatomy that they're going to have on their website so fans can log in and like play around with it. I was reading all about it on Epic's website. So that screenshot I had, so like when they pull up a screen, like I'm in this patient's chart and I got to look up something on Grey's Anatomy, it's going to say Epic. It's like every computer in that show now is going to basically say Epic on the screen.
Oh
And
my
that
God.
is it. So I'm all excited now because it's Epic. But I'm thinking, okay, is Chicago Med then going to follow? Because once Epic creates the program for one movie or one show, wouldn't another show say, hey, that's a good idea? Well, let's use Epic too, because
Yeah.
they already started it.
Yeah, and
And,
I think Epic made a deal with them as well. And if
oh,
if their logo's on there and they know what it is and they
yeah.
can give you a little ad or whatever, like that's money for them.
That advertisement, you can't beat that.
Especially on Grey's Anatomy. People still watch that like a religion, man. It's
Yep.
crazy.
You can't beat that. And it was really fascinating what I was reading about. They're going to create fake patients that the fans can then go in and like open a patient's chart.
Oh wow.
So, like, if you watch Grey's Anatomy and you're like, oh, well, that was neat, oh, they open a chart. What does that look like? They can then go into this Grey's Anatomy website and play around with fake patients,
Oh wow.
but it's built off of an Epic program.
That's crazy.
Isn't it though? I'm like so excited. I'm like, I could so work on that show and come and show you how to use that program. I mean, I
That
will
would be
create you tip
amazing.
sheets, wouldn't it though?
That would be amazing. Also,
So,
yeah, like let's see, 20 seasons, 423 episodes.
yep.
Jesus.
So, what I did, because this is the kind of person I am, in that article that I shared, it mentioned the Epic representative that works for that was working in conjunction with the powers that be at Grey's Anatomy to put this whole thing in place. So I sent them a connection request on LinkedIn to
Nice.
see if I'm just gonna,
Look at you making
slowly but
moves,
sure. Oh,
trying to make your way
buddy,
to the top. Look at you.
you
Look at
you
you.
know, I mean, I'm like, okay, I'll send her a request on LinkedIn.
You might get some dick and a new job this year.
Hey, you know what? But if you think about it, I mean, I don't know which would be better. I do like money, but I do like dick too. But but oh my God, that would be like the perfect job. I would be around the film industry. I would be doing something I know, which is fucking epic. Because if I can show a doctor how to open a chart, I can show an actor how to open a chart. They're going to have to learn how
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
open
So then
epic.
yeah, you would be the consultant on set and you can charge
Oh
damn near
my
whatever
God.
the hell you want
Oh
because
my
it's a
God.
because the show that's that deep 20 years in and still going,
Mhm.
you can damn near charge whatever the hell you want for that and they'll pay it. They'll happily pay it.
Yep. I could absolutely do it. So I need to figure out a way to get this somebody to look at my resume. That's what I need. I need. So I did. I sent her a request. She hasn't accepted it yet. She may not.
Well, also
But
look at the people that are also around her if she's got an assistant or anybody else, any
yeah,
friends, whatever. Kind of go through kind of go through her LinkedIn
that's true.
and really like comb through it and see who else you can like friend request and follow and this that, and the other and see what
That's a good
happens.
idea.
Because yeah, because as long as you find somebody that's in her like immediate circle that's in that area or whatever, you could probably get some of them to see your resume and they'll be like, hey, this woman reached out, she's been on Epic for X amount of years, she's really good at her job,
Hmm.
and we could probably use her as a contact point or a consultant. So
Well, we already have a couple of mutual contacts. So that is going to be helpful.
And
But yeah, that was my only fear, is they would want to send an Epic employee to go teach them. But come on, why send an Epic employee that's going to be all starstruck about being, on a film set? I, I would be fine.
that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Yeah, just keep reaching out to people and seeing who you can get in contact with, and work the angle. That's it. Work the
Yeah,
angles.
that's okay. So we have 2 connections. Let's see who our second connections are. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I'm sure if you look at whoever's doing it, they have assistants and interns and like higher ups and people who are below them as well, who you can like,
Hmm.
you know, contact and follow and connect with and be like, hey, this thing's happening, put in a good word for me or whatever, see what happens, see what goes down. Because the
Yeah.
worst they can say is no, and then the intimacy coordinator. So
Yeah, no, now I'm all excited because that's a good idea. I'm also going to look through Epic's website, a lot of these larger hospitals, and she is like head over something. A lot of them do have um on their websites, manager of this, manager of that. So I'm going to see if maybe they have a way to contact her through, you know what? I could probably send, I bet you, got a question. Okay. I'll fill that out later. But yeah, I bet you I could send a question and reference her, and they'll forward it to her.
there you go. There you go. Figure it out. Why not?
Because I think there's an opportunity there. I think Epic did a hell of a fucking thing. I was stunned when I read that.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, because that's how Epic did all the hospitals. They are like one of the largest in the world. And I
Yeah.
think the largest in the United States.
And they're starting with an extremely established show,
Mhm.
and it's just going to trickle down to the other medical shows as well.
Yep. And once those other shows see that how neat that is, and then if you think of the people that watch the show and they're like, oh, that's neat, and I want to get on this training website and just kind of play around with it because that's exciting. Then when they go to the local hospital and find out, oh shit, my local hospital uses that program Epic that I saw on Grey's Anatomy.
Yep. Yep.
My God, they hit the mother load here.
They did. They really did. Yeah. So I mean, you have several ways in right now.
I do. I read that today and I was like, because of course, I was on Epic's website reading updates about, what might be going on and things like that. And I saw that and I was just like, I am just stunned. Stunned.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I hope one of these things works out, but you definitely should go with the one dude from out west to that event.
Okay.
Um, here's the
We'll
thing.
see if we'll see if we really ever see each other again, if we
Yeah, yeah,
ever
yeah.
really
That's true.
connect again.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh well. I'm back on my dating app and still doing stuff, so we'll see how
Okay.
that goes.
Good.
I'm,
Yeah, you'll
I'm,
have to let us know.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I've got a few matches, talking to a few people and seeing how it goes. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
I still have some that I've matched before on that I probably pick up again and see if they want to keep talking. So we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think now that you have some things to look for, like looking back, if you see any signs that, oh yeah, I should have realized when she said that or when she talked like that, or you know, I know that there's somebody out there for you. I know that you're gonna find somebody. It just she wasn't the one. Fuck her.
No, really, yeah. And like, yeah, just the fucking abruptness just like caught me completely off guard, man.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
that was so, there was no reason for that. There was
Yeah.
no reason for that. She very easily could have got on the phone with you and just said, now that I thought about it and we've met, I just don't think it's going to work. But to go from talking every day and FaceTiming and sharing things to, oh, we can't even be friends. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And she just up and blocked you.
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
say, don't contact me. I don't want to
Well, I mean,
hear from you.
I kind of figured that, and I actually blocked her on the dating website I'm using because like she was still in like the archived like people I matched
Mm,
with, but I just straight up
mm,
blocked her. I was just like, I don't want to fuck,
good,
I don't want her to come fucking back. I don't want her to see me on this thing. Like
good.
whatever, man. You do you, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Nah, screw her.
but yeah, I mean, it's funny because I still expect her to like fucking send me a message in like a month or 6 months, something like that. I still.
And she might. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna be like, who is this? And I'm gonna play entirely dumb.
Uh,
I'm gonna play entirely dumb like I changed phone number. Or like, I blocked her
yep.
number or took her number out of my contacts, some shit like that. I'll play dumb that entire time. Be like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Then I'll just give her those wonderful one-word answers that every woman loves.
Yep. Yep. Nope. That's how you got to play it.
Yeah.
I know that I've been at bars or I've seen guys that completely like stomped my heart, and I just walked by them like I didn't even notice they were there.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, "Oh, Erica. Now, oh, I didn't even see you." When the whole time I
Yeah.
saw them right
They're
away.
yeah, they're in your peripheral or whatever. You can kind of like,
Hmm.
gauge. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I've
Yep.
absolutely done that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think on that note, now that you're back on the dating website, if anybody has any dating advice for Nick or any lovely young Indian ladies who are looking for a spouse, Erica
Oh
Dyer
man.
podcast at gmail.com.
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm gonna hit up that old lady this week and see what
Nice.
God.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what.
I
I'll tell
hope
you
to
what with
God
you.
I hope to God I don't have to change gyms because that would be fucking terrible.
I tell you what with the older ladies. We're up for anything. And if it doesn't work out, we ain't going to block you. We just go back to whatever we're doing. Because
Okay,
honestly, if it doesn't
cool.
work out, she probably wouldn't give a shit.
Okay, yeah.
She'd be like, "Ah, that's fine.
as long as I don't get a phone call
What a
from
nice."
the as long as I don't get a phone call from the gym being like, "Hey, you can't come back." Like that would be terrible.
She'll be like, "Oh, what a nice young man." Well, that's okay.
Yeah, if she yeah, if she yeah, if she's like, "Hey, to say if she and if she's straight with me to be like, "Hey, we got to stop this." I'm like, "All right, cool. Whatever. That's
She
fine."
will not care. She
Yeah.
will not care.
Yeah.
She will. We don't play games. We don't play
Yeah,
games.
that's why I kind of dig older women. It's like there's less bullshit to deal with.
Nah, no, we don't have time for
So much less
bullshit.
bullshit to deal with. So much less bullshit to deal with. I swear to God.
That's a young woman's game, man.
God. Jeez.
All right, let's do our affirmation.
Okay.
Or do you want to do another card?
Oh no. Let's. I think we've done a good amount of cards. Honestly,
Okay.
let's
All
do the
right, so
affirmation.
let's do our affirmation for our end. Stop asking people who've never been where you're going for directions. Stop this. I don't like the way they word this. It should be stop asking people for directions who've never been where you're going.
Yeah.
That's how it should have been worded, but that's not how it was. But I get what they're saying.
Yep,
If
that's
they're
true.
not in your shoes, fuck them. You
Yeah.
don't need to, you don't need their advice.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think that is it for today. What do you think?
I think it's good. Yeah. Yep, that's it. We'll do this again next time.
All right. Have a good one.